Is it safe? Can I start right now? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today is a Q&A. So the biggest question that I've had over the last 2 weeks, down to Facebook posts and being tagged in messages and screenshots and everything, is who are you? So I am Crystal. My husband is Brian. We have been together since 2010. We have 3 children and we are from New York. I know that a lot of local people from me have been so curious as to who bought this house, and I've been tagged in more posts than I can possibly imagine of being tagged in of people saying, who bought this castle? Who is it? It's us. Hi, hello. That has kind of prompted this Q&A. I just wanted to go over a couple things, and I've had a couple questions about the house or us, so let's get into it. So a little bit about me and my husband is we both come from the same background. We both had single mothers, and we both lived in a not good part of the city growing up. Our parents were friends when they were teenagers, and then, like, fun fact, Brian actually came to the hospital when I was born and held me. Obviously, I have no recollection of this. And soon after that, our parents kind of went their separate ways, and we didn't know anything about each other until about middle school. And then we kind of got back in touch, and I came home one day and I was like, oh my gosh, there's this kid, Brian Menard, and he's so cute. My mom was like, who? What was that name you said? And it was Brian. So yeah, and then we kind of went our separate ways until after high school, but that's just the short gist of it. So I want to talk about my childhood home for a minute. I will have Brian at some point do one for him and kind of like Q&A about him. I did not grow up in the best part of the city. When my grandparents bought their house, like way long ago, I guess it was a very good part of the city, but the neighborhood declined. And it wasn't the best. My grandparents took very good care of their home, but the photo that I'm going to show you is just from Google, and it wasn't the best. I wanted to show you guys where I grew up, and so I will insert a photo here. My grandparents had sold their house when they got a little bit older, and but this is the house that I grew up in, and I loved it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did. The neighborhood was not the best, but I loved it. It is home to me. I wanted to kind of insert this part of it because I did have a lot of comments on my one short saying that me and Brian did come from money, and it couldn't be further from the truth. I know I don't have to prove anything to anybody, but it was just a little tidbit. I don't think I've ever really shared with you guys where I grew up. A couple facts about me are I am a photographer, I'm a baker, I am a mom, I love to thrift, I love to dress up, so I am probably always overdressed, and to me it's not overdressed. I feel like you can never be overdressed, you could just be underdressed, but I am always trying to look my best, okay? I'm trying. So another question is, how did we find this listing? Zillow. I stalked Zillow. That was it. It wasn't any cool story. It was literally just Zillow. Another question was, why a castle? Like, that just seems so extra. And we didn't seek out to buy a castle. I kind of went over this in part 1 of We Bought a Castle. So if you want to go check that out, it kind of has the house buying process and anything like that. Some of your questions might be answered there. It just so happened to be a castle that was on the market, and everything kind of just fell into place. It wasn't anything specific though. A couple questions about the house were, what is the biggest renovation we've done so far? The biggest, like, scale wise, I would say, is cleaning up the grounds with all of the leaves and debris and everything like that. And we're not completely done because I feel like that process is never done, but like the main part of it is, so now the grass can grow. But the most important one is our furnace slash boiler that had leaked carbon monoxide and kind of went south there. This last week, I kind of touched on that in the last video. But yeah, that was probably the most important in my opinion, and the scariest. Another question is, what is the hardest part of living in a big old house like this? And it is trying to communicate with each other. I did hook up Alexa's around the whole house. I don't want to say it too loud because she's sitting right next to me. And I feel like if I say it, then she's going to be like, can I help you? But I did set them out all over the house so we can kind of communicate that way. So there's not like yelling, Brian, where are you? Krista, where are you? Like the first, before I got them set up, Brian was like walking around the house, and then he finally found me, and he's like, Crystal, I'm not even joking. I was walking around for 10 minutes trying to find you, and we must have been like going in a circle from each other, and like it was ridiculous. So I had to hook those up throughout the house because it was too much. Another question that we got are we living through the renovations? And yes, we are. I said I would never do that again, and here I am. So I guess never say never, right? So another question is, what were the plans that we had for the house, and what is kind of like our 5-year goal for it? I would say that I want to update it to my style. So the home is beautiful. The previous owners, all of the furniture that's here that you see is from them, and the painting and everything is from them. But it doesn't feel like my home. I need my own personal touch on it. I plan on keeping as many original features as physically possible, unless it is physically impossible to keep them. But I'm also looking for like artists to recreate the things if something is damaged and we do have to replace it, to kind of replace it with the same thing. But I also feel like as a family who's living here, especially a family long term, you have to put your own little twist on things. So I'm sure I will renovate a bathroom and people will lose their minds. But I mean, those type of things you got to update. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like every home or every family who lives in this home has to put their little twist on it. I have tiles in one bathroom from like the 1950s, 1960s that were definitely not original and not my style. So they're not going to stay. Eventually they will be replaced. And I know some people will be like, you can't change that, but it's not original. And I feel like every family has kind of put their own little twang on it. And I kind of love that. Unless your home is like a museum and you plan on keeping it that way, I feel like you do have to adjust it to work for your family. And I don't mean taking out walls or original features. I mean like aesthetics. What is my favorite room in the house? So I have a couple. This is one of them. Obviously, the lighting in here is magnifique, but my absolute favorite room in this, oh, I don't know actually now that I'm thinking about it, because I have so many rooms in this house that I just love the features of. But if I had to pick one, I don't know if it's a room, but it's the greenhouse. I love that greenhouse so much, and I started to kind of like demo it to try and get it to be amazing again. I'm not going to say too much. You'll see a little bit of that in Wednesday's video. It'll be bits and pieces. It was really hard because I had like the pressure washer and I like didn't want to get my phone wet. So I don't know how good the footage is going to be, but I will show you guys that on Wednesday. I started that. That's going to be a very slow process. So it probably will not be done for a while, but I started that, and that must be like my absolute favorite. But then like I love this room because it's so beautiful, and this is like my office, and I can't wait to like find the perfect vintage couches and like have big old fires over there, and it's just I can't wait. But then I also love the dining room because the dining room molding and the crown molding and the panels are so dream worthy. It's not even funny. So I guess those are like my three. But honestly, like there's so many parts of this house that I absolutely adore, and I feel like it's so hard to pick one, but if I had to, it would definitely be the greenhouse. So a couple personal Q&A questions that I've gotten more in messages were, if you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be? And I love that question because I was a very troubled teen and kid. And I feel like I would just tell myself to keep going. And I promise you, it's going to get better. And to pick up the phone when your grandparents call you, because you don't know that you had such limited time with them left, and to savor every moment of it. Another thing people have asked me is, what is my favorite way to just relax and unwind? And unfortunately, I'm such a high-strung person, I don't know what that means. But if I had to like kind of pick anything, it would be just the quiet time at night. I do like my quiet time right before bed. I usually sit down, I watch The Nanny, or I watch like Sex and the City, or I watch oh my gosh, what is the show with the two twins, Tia Mowry and stuff? The Sister. I watch Sister. I love Gilmore Girls. Like I'll just watch like a nostalgic type show. I don't like anything super anxiety driven or like, oh my gosh, what is the next thing gonna happen right before bed? I like something that I kind of know is gonna happen because I've watched it a million times. So that's usually what I do right before bed, and I will just snuggle up and kind of just relax. So one last question is, people have asked me, how is this changed the dynamic of my family? Like, is it better like since we moved, or is it worse? Is it more stressful? And I have to say, honestly, is the renovation type aspect, or like the not even the renovations, but the things that have come up are stressful, but our family life dynamic is amazing here. Like I don't know. The kids are happy. They love it here. They love having their friends over because we have the room now. They have their own rooms because before they had to share, and they just have their own personal twist on it now, and they love it. And that to me means so much because I was so scared that the transition from the old house to the new house was not going to be well because they were not too excited about moving from their childhood home. And now that they're here, I feel like they haven't even asked about the other house. So I think that that's beautiful and amazing. So that is going to wrap up our Q&A section of the video. I'm trying to do more sit down videos on Sundays for you guys and vloggy type videos on Wednesdays. I hope this works for you guys. Please let me know in the comments if you have any more questions for me, so the next time I do a Q&A, I can refer back to this video. If you're into family life, history, renovations, and rebuilding our life stone by stone, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Love you. Bye. And oh my god, that's a big ass motherfucking wasp.